Hello kids, we have another story with us today where we will learn that if we do not know something, let us not try to show off because show off करने के चक्कर में कुछ का कुछ हो सकता है. So the title is That Costly Ride. The household of Hector lived frugally on the meager income derived from the husband's insignificant appointment. हेक्टर की जॉब कुछ बहुत अच्छी नहीं थी और उसके घर में सब बेयर मिनिमम पे सरवाइव कर रहे थे. 2 children had been born of the marriage and they were just hand to mouth. They led a life which at the least appeared somewhat respectable, but they could not afford any luxuries. The husband and wife, harassed by poverty, knew no other distraction than the Sunday walk in the neighborhood park and a few evenings at the theatre, amounting in all to 1 or 2 in the course of the winter, which they owed to free passes presented by some friend or the other. उनकी एंटरटेनमेंट या तो सिर्फ संडे में नेबरहुड के पार्क में वॉक करना थी या 1 या 2 थिएटर की आउटिंग्स थी, वो भी तब जब कोई उनको फ्री पास दे देता था. बट द स्प्रिंग ऑफ दिस ईयर सम ओवरटाइम वर्क वॉज entrusted to Hector by his chief, for which he received the large sum of 300 francs. The day he brought the money home, he said to his wife, "My dear, we must indulge in some sort of festivity. Say an outing for the children." So, and after a long discussion, it was decided that they should go and lunch one day in the country. भाई थोड़ी से कुछ पैसे जमा हुए हैं तो बाहर जाके एंजॉय करने का प्रोग्राम बना. Well, cried Hector, "Once will not break us. So we will hire a wagonette for you, the children and the maid, and I will have a saddle horse. The exercise will do me good." तो क्या डिसाइड करा कि बीवी, बच्चे और जो मेड है वो एक वैगनेट यानी कि घोड़ा गाड़ी में जाएंगे और ये साहब खुद एक हॉर्स राइड करेंगे. The whole week long they talked of nothing but the forthcoming excursion. हमारा भी कई बार कोई प्रोग्राम बने कहीं जाके एंजॉय करने का तो उससे पहले बहुत डिस्कशन होती हैं उस इवेंट के बारे में. Every evening on his return from the office, Hector caught up his elder son, put him on his legs and making him bounce up and down as hard as he could, said, "That's how daddy will gallop next Sunday." अपने घुटने पे बिठा के ऊपर नीचे उछालते हुए बोलते थे कि पापा ऐसे ही घुड़सवारी करेंगे. And the youngster amused himself all day long by riding chairs, dragging them around the room and shouting, "This is daddy on the horseback." The servant herself gazed at her master with awe-struck eyes as she thought of him riding alongside the carriage, and at meal times she listened with all her ears while he spoke of riding and recounted the exploits of his youth when he lived at home with his father. Oh, he had learnt in a good school, and once he felt his steed between his legs, he feared nothing, nothing whatever. Steed का मतलब घोड़ा. Rubbing his hands, he repeated gaily to his wife, "If only they would give me a restive animal, I should be all the better pleased. You will see how well I can ride. As we shall make a good appearance, I should not at all object to meeting someone from the ministry. This is all that is necessary to ensure the respect of one's chiefs." On the appointed day and time, the carriage and the riding horse arrived before the door. Hector went down immediately to examine his mount. He flourished in his hand a whip he had bought the evening before. पहले से ही एक चाबुक खरीद लाए थे. He raised the horse's legs and felt them one after another, passed his hand over the animal's neck and body, opened his mouth, examined his teeth, declared his age, and then the whole household having collected round him, he delivered a discourse on the horse in general and the specimen before him in particular, pronouncing the latter excellent in every respect. मतलब पूरा ऐसे बिहेव करा जैसे पता नहीं कितनी घुड़सवारी करी है, घोड़ों के मामले में तो पूरी नॉलेज है, पर है कि नहीं अभी पता चलेगा. When the rest of the party had taken their seats in the carriage, he sprang to the saddle. The animal began to jump and nearly threw his rider. Hector, not altogether at his ease, tried to soothe him. Come, come, good horse, gently now. Then when the horse had recovered his equanimity and the rider his nerve, the latter asked, Are you ready? The occupants of the carriage replied with one voice, Yes. Forward, he commanded, and the cavalcade set out. All looks were centered on him. He trotted in the English style, rising unnecessarily high in the saddle, looking at times as if he were mounting into space. आराम से ही घोड़ा चला रहे थे, लेकिन ऊपर नीचे ऐसे हो रहे थे जैसे पता नहीं कितनी स्पीड पे चला रहे हैं. Sometimes he seemed on the point of falling forward on the horse's mane. His eyes were fixed, his face drawn, and his cheeks pale. His wife, holding one of the children on her knees, and the servant who was carrying the other, continually cried out, Look at Papa! Look at Papa! And the two boys, enthused by the motion of the carriage, by their delight and by the keen air, uttered shrill cries. The horse, frightened by the noise they made, started off at a gallop. And while Hector was trying to control his steed, his hat fell off, and the driver had to get down and pick it up. क्योंकि बच्चे शोर मचा रहे थे, तो घोड़ा थोड़ा तेजी से भागना शुरू हुआ. इससे हेक्टर की टोपी गिरी. फिर अपने कैरेज को रोक करके जो ड्राइवर था, उसने टोपी उठा करके दी. When the equestrian had recovered it, he called to his wife from a distance, "Don't let the children shout like that. They will make the horse bolt." इक्वेस्ट्रियन मतलब जो घुड़सवार होते हैं. They lunched on the grass in Vecinate woods, having brought provisions with them in the carriage. अच्छी खासी पिकनिक मनाई. Although the driver was looking after the 3 horses, Hector rose every minute to see if his own lacked anything. He patted him on the neck and fed him with bread, cakes and sugar. He is an unequal trotter, he declared. He certainly shook me up a little at first, but as you saw, I soon got used to it. He knows his master now and won't give any more trouble. As had been decided, they returned by the most important central street of the town. That spacious thoroughfare swarmed with vehicles of every kind, and on the sidewalks, the pedestrians were so numerous that they looked like 2 black ribbons unfurling their length. इन्होंने पहले ही डिसाइड कर लिया था कि वापसी का रास्ता क्या लेंगे. As soon as Hector's horse had passed the central fountain, he became suddenly imbued with fresh energy, and realizing that his stable was not far off, began to trot rapidly through the maze of wheels, despite all his rider's efforts to restrain him. जैसे जैसे उसका स्टेबल यानी कि अस्तबल पास आ रहा था, घोड़े में तो ऐसे लगा फ्रेश एनर्जी आ गई है और वो थोड़ा तेज तेज दौड़ना शुरू हुआ. हालांकि हेक्टर ने काफ़ी कोशिश करी कि वो थोड़ा धीरे हो जाए, मगर उसे कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाए. The carriage was now far behind. When the horse arrived opposite the Grand Hotel, he saw a clear field before him and set off at a gallop. अपने सामने खुला मैदान देख करके हॉर्स दौड़ने लगा. An old woman, wearing an apron and crossing the road in a leisurely fashion, she happened to be just in Hector's way as he arrived on the scene riding at full speed. Powerless to control his mount, he shouted at the top of his voice, "Hi, look out there, hi!" अपनी तरफ से उस लेडी को वार्न करा. She must have been deaf, for she continued peacefully on her way until the awful moment when, struck by the horse's chest, she rolled 10 paces off, turning 3 somersaults on the way. Voices yelled, "Stop him!" Hector, frantic with terror, clung to the horse's mane and shouted, "Help! Help!" A terrible jolt hurled him as if shot from a gun over his horse's ears and cast him into the arms of a policeman who was running up to stop him. In the space of a second, a furious, gesticulating crowd had gathered round him. An old gentleman with a white moustache seemed particularly exasperated. He repeated, "Confound it! When a man is as awkward as all that, he should remain at home and not come killing people in the streets, if he doesn't know how to handle a horse." बात तो सही कही थी। अगर घोड़ा चलाना नहीं आता तो घुड़सवारी कर ही क्यों रहे हो और दूसरों की जान क्यों खतरे में डाल रहे हो? 4 men arrived on the scene carrying the old woman. She appeared to be dead. Her skin was pale, her cap on one side, and she was covered with dust. "Take her to a druggist's," ordered the gentleman, "and let us go to the police station." उसको डॉक्टर के पास भेजा उस लेडी को और हेक्टर को पुलिस स्टेशन ले गए. Hector started on his way with a policeman on either side of him. A third was leading his horse. A crowd followed them, and suddenly the wagonette appeared in sight. His wife alighted in consternation. The children whimpered. सभी डर गए थे. He explained that he would soon be at home and that he had knocked a woman down and that there was not much the matter. And his anxious family went on their way. When they arrived at the police station, the explanation took place in a few words. He gave his name and address, and then they awaited the news of the injured woman. A policeman who had been sent to obtain information returned, saying that she had recovered consciousness but was complaining of frightful internal pain. She was a charwoman, 65 years of age, named Madam Simon. चारवुमन होती हैं पुराने टाइम में घरों में फायर प्लेसेस में कोयले या वुड से आग जलाई जाती थी गरम रखने के लिए. तो जो हर फ्लोर पर कोल या वुड लेकर के जाती थी उनको चारवुमन कहते थे. When he heard that she was not dead, Hector regained hope and promised to defray her doctor's bill, कि मतलब उनकी दवाई का खर्चा उठाएंगे. Then he hastened to the druggist's. The doorway was thronged. The injured woman huddled in an armchair. She was groaning. Her arms hung at her sides. Her face was drawn. 2 doctors were still engaged in examining her. No bones were broken, but they feared some internal lesion. मतलब शायद कुछ अंदरूनी चोट लगी हो, हड्डियां वड्डियां सब सही थी. Hector addressed her. "Do you suffer much?" "Oh yes." "Where is the pain?" "I feel as if my stomach were on fire." A doctor approached. "Are you the gentleman who caused the accident?" "I am." "This woman ought to be sent to a nursing home. I know one where they would take her at 6 francs a day. Would you like me to send her there?" Hector was delighted at the idea, thanked him, and returned home much relieved. भाई हड्डियां नहीं टूटी थी, कुछ इंटरनल इंजरी थी, वो शायद जल्दी ही ठीक हो जाए, तो वो थोड़ा रिलीफ महसूस कर रहे थे. His wife, dissolved in tears, was awaiting him. He reassured her, "It's all right. This Madam Simon is better already and will be quite well in 2 or 3 days. I have sent her to a nursing home. It is all right." When he left his office the next day, he went to inquire for Madam Simon. He found her eating rich soup with an air of great satisfaction. "Well," said he. "Oh, sir," she replied, "I am just the same. I feel sort of crushed, not a bit better." लेकिन वो तो सूप बहुत ही अच्छे से खा रही थी. Let us see. The doctor declared they must wait and see. Some complication or other might arise. बाहर से देखने में ठीक थी, हड्डियां नहीं टूटी थी, खा पी भी अच्छे से रही थी, थोड़ा और वेट करके देखते हैं. Hector waited 3 days, then he returned. The old woman, fresh-faced and clear-eyed, began to whine when she saw him. I can't move, sir. I can't move a bit. I shall be like this for the rest of my days. देखने में सही लग रही थी, अगर उनकी स्किन फेस देखो सब सही था, मगर फिर भी कंप्लेंट थी कि मुझे अच्छा नहीं लग रहा. A shudder passed through Hector's frame. He asked for the doctor, who merely shrugged his shoulders and said, "What can I do? I can't tell what's wrong with her. She shrieks when they try to raise her. They can't move her chair from one place to another without her uttering the most distressing cries. I am bound to believe what she tells me. I can't look into her inside. So long as I have no chance of seeing her walk, I am not justified in supposing her to be telling lies about herself." भाई अब डॉक्टर का भी कहना सही है. उनको अगर लेडी को हिलाने की भी कोशिश करते थे, उनको खुद को नहीं उनकी चेयर को, तो बहुत चिल्लाती थी. अब कहते हैं कि अगर उनके अंदर तो झांक के देख नहीं सकते, तो जब तक ये चलती नहीं, मैं नहीं कह सकता कि ये सही हैं या झूठ बोल रही हैं. The old woman listened motionless, a malicious gleam in her eyes. Malicious मतलब थोड़ी सी evil look थी उनकी eyes में. शायद नाटक ही कर रही थी. A week passed, then a fortnight, then a month. एक महीना बीत गया ऐसे. Madam Simon did not leave her armchair. She ate from morning to night, grew fat, chatted gaily with the other patients, and seemed to enjoy her immobility, as if it were the rest to which she was entitled after 50 years of going up and down stairs, of turning mattresses, of carrying coal from one story to another, of sweeping and dusting. जो 50 साल इतनी मेहनत करी थी, शायद उसी के इनाम में इनको ये रेस्ट करने को मिल रहा था. वैसे इनको देख कर के लग रहा है ना कि शायद नाटक ही था. Anyways, Hector at his wits' end came to see her every day. Every day he found her calm and serene, declaring, "I can't move, sir. I shall never be able to move again." भाई सबसे हंस के बात कर रही थी बाकी पेशेंट से, खा भी अच्छा रही थी, और बोन्स तो कहीं कोई टूटी नहीं थी. इंटरनल इंजरी भी होती तो 1 महीने में तो ठीक हो जानी चाहिए थी. Anyways, every evening Hector's wife inquired from her husband, "How is Madam Simon?" And every time he replied with the resignation born of despair, "Just the same, no change whatever." They dismissed the servant whose wages they could no longer afford. They economized more rigidly than ever. The whole of the extra pay had been swallowed up. Then Hector summoned 4 noted doctors who met in consultation over the old woman. She let them examine her, feel her, sound her, watching them the while with a cunning eye. "We must make her walk," said one. "But sirs, I can't," she cried. "I can't move." Then they took hold of her, raised her and dragged her a short distance. But she slipped from their grasp and fell to the floor groaning and giving vent to such heart-rending cries that they carried her back to her seat with care and precaution. कोशिश करी कि उसको पकड़ करके चलाने की, लेकिन फिर भी उनकी एक्टिंग तो देखो. They pronounced a guarded opinion, agreeing, however, that work was an impossibility to her. मतलब इतना उन्होंने अपना ओपिनियन दिया कि अब काम तो ये नहीं कर पाएंगी. And when Hector brought this news to his wife, she sank on a chair, murmuring, "It would be better to bring her here. It would cost us less." He stared in amazement. "Here, in our own house? How can you think of such a thing?" But she, resigned now to anything, replied with tears in her eyes, "But what can we do, my love? It is not my fault." गलती किसकी थी एक्चुअली? हेक्टर की. शायद अगर उनको घुड़सवारी नहीं आती थी, वो अपनी शो ऑफ करने की कोशिश ना करते, तो ये एक्सीडेंट नहीं होता. ये एक्सीडेंट नहीं होता तो ये ओल्ड लेडी इनसे इतना नाजायज़ फ़ायदा नहीं उठाती। अब इनके पास और कोई चारा भी तो नहीं था।